Hello. So today let's talk about the surprising link between your poor posture and your afternoon slump. If you're tired every afternoon, your posture might be to blame, right? And in today's video, let's address this and how to fix it. So, as an executive mom, you may start off the day with really good intentions, as most of us do, and probably plenty of coffee. But by the time that afternoon rolls around or you hit that midday, you may be hit with that familiar fog, low energy levels, brain fog. You get a bit foggy. You feel that heaviness in your eyes, maybe even a headache creeping in, right? So while it's tempting to blame stress, sugar, diet, or maybe even sleep for all this, there can be another component that you might be overlooking, and that is your posture. Now, in today's video, as I said, let's take a closer look at how posture and your afternoon crash or your afternoon slumps are related, and they can be connected more than you think. And what can you actually do to make that shift in that break that cycle of that afternoon slump, right? So before we get into the topic for today, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Swati. I'm an executive mom power coach. I help moms of younger kids who work in high stress executive jobs to manage their spinal, that is back and neck, and nerve pain despite low energy levels and brain fog. Now, I do this by giving you simple exercises, some easy lifestyle modification, some tips and tricks that have helped me in my own pain and adrenal fatigue journey. Now, those of you who are familiar with adrenal fatigue know there are many, many symptoms. However, the ones that I had were low energy levels and brain fog or mommy brain or lack of focus. Now, when you have these symptoms, it is very difficult to get by your everyday tasks or your daily routine, leave alone managing your aches and pains. But it's not impossible. So here I am on the other end and trying to guide you with whatever helped me with my personal and professional knowledge. All right, so let's get into the topic for today because. Hey, we're moms, we are busy people, right? So let's talk about the surprising link between your poor posture and your afternoon slumps. So, as we were discussing about the afternoon slump, you may know that sitting for long hours isn't ideal, but you may not realize that how you are sitting, standing, or even moving throughout the day can actually impact your energy levels, your focus, and even your mood, right? So, what happens is slouching signals your brain to slow down. Poor posture, specifically, if you have a forward head posture or rounded shoulders. Now, forward head posture is okay. Let me explain this. So, this is your earlobe, this is the tip of your shoulder. Many people you would notice when they're on their phones or when they are looking at any screen, they're always poking their head out like this. So, do you see where my earlobe is lying in terms of the tip of my shoulder? It is much forward. So, that basically is called a forward head posture. When you have this forward head posture, what happens is you have to balance the head on your body. So, in order to balance it, your shoulders need to round as well. And then you get that slouching in your upper back, which goes to your mid back, and of course, affects down the lumbar spine or your lower back as well. Anyway, so such poor postures, such as forward head posture or rounded shoulders, when you have this, okay, if you try sitting like this, do you see how? In this position, my lungs and the muscle that is sitting under the lungs, that is known as a diaphragm, will not be able to expand to its full extent, right? So it is going to make it harder to breathe deeply. So try and do, if you're sitting like this, try and take a deep breath as compared to if you're sitting upright. Just sitting like that makes me uncomfortable. So, as compared to sitting like this and taking a deep breath. So you see, this is more free. So when you're sitting in that rounded posture, in that poor posture, that is rounded shoulders and forward head posture, there is a shallower breathing than normal. It means minimal, yet the of oxygen that's passing on to your brain, to your muscles, which translates basically into fatigue. Now, how can you prevent this forward head posture? Now, and rounded shoulders. Now, if I was to go into that details, it'll be a video for another day. But what I've done is I have written a blog on this topic, which is called The Surprising Link Between Poor Posture and Your Afternoon Slump. In that blog, there is a video on easy tips to reduce your forward head posture. There are a lot of other good things in that blog. I will address it as I come to it. However, I will leave a link to that blog in the description of this video. If you're watching on Instagram, the link is in my bio. If you're a busy mom like me and you can't be bothered to look for it, message me or comment below and I'll send it to you. All right, so moving on. The other thing I wanted to talk about is your muscle imbalances that create more tension and drain your energy. So you start off in the day, but as maybe you sit in a good posture, but as you slump down into a poor posture, your muscles have to work harder to keep you upright. Now, over time, these muscles they tend to get fatigued. They tend to be painful. So it can even translate into those when your muscles are fatigued. Okay, if you're looking at your neck muscles here, right? When your muscles are tired and fatigued, there is going to be potentially there's going to be issues like headaches, and you will feel that heavy, sluggish feeling coming towards the mid-afternoon. Now, why mid-afternoon? Because morning we wake up, we are at 100%, well, mostly. And by the time you get to the afternoon, that tension, that stress in the muscles, the fatigue in the muscles builds up, and by mid-afternoon or maybe later in the evening, you start to feel that drained energy or low energy levels. Now, what can you do about this? You can do some simple 1 minute shoulder rolls or seated spinal twist. So something as simple as rolling your shoulders clockwise and anti-clockwise, just twisting in your chair here. Okay, Zoom goes a bit funny when I do this. Anyway, ignore the chair there. Or you could do seated twists. You can do some neck movements. Um, you can do half rotations. Usually, I don't recommend people to do this rotation in the front. It is a natural movement of the neck. However, if you have issues like disc, cervical spondylosis, etc., I don't ask you to go into this forward rotation. So if you're not comfortable with rotations at all, you can just do side to side head movements or tilting your head from one side to the other. Anyway, so moving on, you could do these simple, easy movements. Now, in that blog that I have spoken about before, there is a link to some desk-based exercises. It basically takes you through some exercises that can be done sitting in the comfort of your home or in your office at your desk. Takes you through exercises right from your cervical spine, or as in the base of your your hairline, the base of your skull down to your toes. So they don't take more than 2 to 3 minutes, unless, of course, you want to make them longer. Then you can go up to 5 to 7 minutes. So I will leave a link to those desk-based exercises in the blog. All right. So another thing I wanted to talk about is I know we're talking about poor posture and afternoon slumps, but really poor posture also means you have less focus and you may, may not have the best of moods, right? And that, of course, if you are in a bad mood or you're not feeling great about yourself, your productivity goes down, your listening skills go down. And of course, you can't be a good professional, you can't be a good mom at home, etc. Now, slouching has been linked to lower confidence as well and reduced ability to handle stresses. Now, which make it more difficult for you to bounce back from your afternoon crash. So those crashes are happening. We discussed the reasons. Of course, there are many more reasons, but these are the common ones. How do you come out of it? How do you bounce out of it? So what you need is a posture reset. It helps you to align, breathe deeply, and re-energize without needing caffeine. Again, I have put the details of that posture reset in the blog that I was talking about. In that blog, you will also find how to maintain a good posture while working from home. This is a free guide that I have for you. It is basically some quick practical strategies that will help you to get energized without adding more to your already full schedule. So have a look at that blog. I will leave, in case you missed it last time, I will leave a link to that blog in the description of this video. And if you're watching me on Instagram, the link is in my bio. If you can't find it or you're watching this video sometime in the future, those Instagram links tend to get buried in the bio. Message me or comment below and I'll send it across to you. Alrighty, so I hope that was a bit gives you a bit of insight into why you get that afternoon slump and how it's connected to poor posture. And if there are any words or terminology or anything that I have used here or any concepts that you're not clear about, not message me, sorry, comment below the video and I will be happy to help you out. All right.